Welcome, fellow history nerds, stealth enthusiasts, and people who just like stabbing things in video games. Today we're diving into Assassin's Creed Shadows, a game that's basically Ghost of Tsushima meets Tenchu, with a sprinkle of Ubisoft's signature climb everything magic. Set in feudal Japan, it's got samurais, shinobis, and more katana swings than a Quentin Tarantino movie. So buckle up, here we go. First things first, Assassin's Creed Shadows gives you not one, but two protagonists to play as. There's Naoe, the stealthy shinobi who's quieter than your ex's text replies, and Yasuke, the samurai who's built like a tank and hits like one too. It's like Ubisoft said, hey, you know what's better than one assassin? Two assassins with completely different vibes. Nao's over here parkouring like she's auditioning for Ninja Warrior, while Yasuke's just yeeting fools left and right like he's in a John Wick sequel. And somehow, it works. You can switch between them depending on whether you feel like being sneaky or just want to turn the game into a medieval Dynasty Warriors. Let's talk gameplay, because this is where Shadows either shines brighter than a katana in the sun or trips over its own kimono. Spoiler, it's mostly the former, but with a few Ubisoft-isms that'll make you roll your eyes harder than a teenager at a family reunion. Now stealth is chef's kiss. You can finally use shadows, like actual shadows, to hide. It's not just stand behind a box and pray. You can blow out candles, snuff lanterns, and make guards go, huh, must have been the wind. It's like Splinter Cell and Tenchu had a beautiful sneaky baby. Then there's Yasuke, who's basically the Hulk in samurai armor. His combat is brutal, parries, dodges, and enough weapon variety to make a Dark Souls player blush. You can even deflect unblockable attacks if you time it right, which feels like hitting a perfect note in Guitar Hero. Miss it though, and you're flatter than my attempts at flirting. Oh, and the enemies? They're smarter than your average Ubisoft goon. They'll flank you, use the environment, and get this, actually react to the weather. Snow makes your footsteps louder, rain masks your noise. It's like the game saying, hey, you're not the only one who can use the elements, buddy. But let's be real, sometimes the game's a bit too realistic. I mean, who knew feudal Japan had so much mud? I spent half my time unsticking Yasuke from the ground like he's a toddler in a ball pit. Now, the story, is it Shakespeare? No. Is it better than a soap opera? Barely. But it's got heart, drama, and enough twists to keep you invested. Like a Netflix show you binge watch even though you know it's trash. You've got Naoe, the shinobi, out for revenge after her dad gets off by some warlord. Classic. Then there's Yasuke, the African samurai who's basically a walking history lesson. He's real, by the way. Google him. Ubisoft didn't just make him up for diversity points, despite what the internet's loudest complainers say. The voice acting, it's fine. Now he sounds like she's perpetually whispering, even when she's yelling, and Yasuke's got this deep, gravelly voice that makes everything sound like a movie trailer. In a world where honor is everything. You get the idea. And the writing, it's peak Ubisoft. Expect lines like, we must unite to stop the darkness, and my blade thirsts for justice. It's so cheesy, I half expected a fondue recipe in the collector's edition. Visually, Shadows is a stunner. It's like someone took a postcard of Japan and said, make it a game. The landscapes are breathtaking. Cherry blossoms, misty mountains, and castles that look straight out of a Kurosawa film. And the dynamic seasons? Chef's kiss again. Spring's all pink and flowery, summer's lush and green, fall's a riot of colors, and winter's so snowy you'll want to grab a blanket. It's like the game's flexing its graphics card at you every 5 minutes. The sound? Oh, the sound. The music's a mix of traditional Japanese instruments and epic orchestral scores. It's like The Last Samurai soundtrack had a baby with Sekiro's. And the sound effects? Every sword clash, every arrow whoosh. It's ASMR for gamers. Except when it bugs out and you hear a horse neighing like it's auditioning for a horror movie. But hey, no game's perfect, right? Let's talk about the open world, because Ubisoft didn't just make a map, they made a whole dang country. It's massive, detailed, and packed with more activities than a hyperactive toddler on a sugar rush. You've got your standard clear the bandit camp, follow the NPC, and climb the tall thing quests. But there are also cool ones, like sketching herons or performing tea ceremonies. It's like Ubisoft said, let's make half the game a samurai simulator and the other half a travel vlog. But here's the thing, it's too big. I got so lost trying to find a shrine that I ended up in a different province, accidentally started a war, and probably changed the course of Japanese history. Thanks, Ubisoft, and don't get me started on the parkour. Now he's supposed to be agile, but half the time she's clinging to walls like a confused cat. Yasuke? He's so heavy, I'm surprised he doesn't leave craters when he jumps. So, is Assassin's Creed Shadows worth playing? In 3 words, yes, but it's a gorgeous, immersive trip to feudal Japan with some of the best stealth and combat in the series. Naoe and Yasuke are a dynamic duo, and the world is so detailed you'll want to take screenshots every 5 seconds. But it's not perfect. The story's predictable, the open world can feel bloated, and there are enough bugs to start a small insect farm. Still, if you're craving a samurai shinobi adventure with a side of historical tourism, this is your game. That's it, guys. If this review made you laugh, cry, or just mildly entertained, smash that like button harder than Yasuke smashes helmets. Subscribe for more honest game reviews, and I'll catch you in the next one. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got some virtual Japan to explore, and probably get lost in again.